Yo, 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 welcome back to the Hulaham Hour. I'm your host, Curtis Branham, alongside Nick, who is back from being sick. What up, brother?
What's going on, man? Good to be
Oh,
back.
good. Good to have you back. Let's kick it, everybody. We are back with this shortened Saturday version of the Hulaham Hour. We are very transparent with you guys here. We just got done recording another half an hour video, and when we got done, there was no audio for Nick. So this is take number 2. So we already kind of have our picks. We already kind of have our stuff. We've already kind of discussed, but we're still going to give the people what they want. So, Wildcard weekend was not the greatest of games. The only game worth watching was Tampa Bay and Washington. What were your overall thoughts on Wildcard weekend?
It's a lot more blowouts than I thought it was going to be. I thought a lot of them games would have been a lot closer. It was kind of surprising.
A lot closer. They should have been a lot closer. But, hey, we've gotten blessed with some really great wildcard rounds the last few years. We were probably due for a dumpy one. Our picks, also dismal. You went a whopping 2-4, and I went an amazing 3-3. We did not bust our brackets for the Super Bowl, mainly because we either picked 1 or 2 seeds, which are all still in it. You still sticking with your Chiefs-Lions prediction?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I am.
Devil worshippers. So I'm still sticking with my Lions-Bills. First game of the week on the docket later this afternoon. Chiefs-Texans. Who you got and why?
I'm going to stick with the Chiefs, but like I said, the Texans, I think they'll cover the spread. I think it'll be closer. I hope the Texans win, even though that ruins my entire playoff bracket. But I would enjoy to see C.J. Stroud and Al Shazier come in and just wreck Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm on upset alert. Texans are playing hot. I know they're going into Arrowhead. It's a very tough spot to play. I'm taking the Texans in this just because I cannot pick the Chiefs in any regard anymore. I just can't do it. But yeah, I think it'll be a good game regardless. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't see that happening. The weather's not terrible. It's not brutally cold. It's 25 degrees. Definitely played in colder weather at Arrowhead. Should be an exciting game. Spread's 9 for Kansas City. It is the lowest over-under at 41.5, though. So we will see if there's any offense to be had at all. Moving on to the late night game tonight at 8 p.m. We have the Commanders coming into Ford Field here in Detroit. We are clearly both taking the Lions. But give me one of your main reasons why you're actually taking the Lions besides the fact that we are just super fans.
Because our injuries are coming back little by little. Defense is getting better. Jaden Daniels averages 6 yards a rush. He's going to get 6 yards a rush. It's just containing the big runs.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, with us getting a lot of our defense back, not a ton, but more than enough. Anzalone made such an impact when he
Davis
came back. Yep. I'm very excited to see how Aaron Glenn's defense operates, getting more healthy week by week. I'm also excited to see the 1-2 punch of Knuckles and Sonic back at it. David Montgomery, I really, really, really hope that you're making the right decision. I think he is, but time will tell. I'm excited for this game. Ford Field's going to be just insane. Very, very excited.
In the official stats on the Commanders' defense, 26th against the rush, 21st against the pass.
Yeah, so with that being said...
40 points.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one. It's not going to be a low-scoring affair. Over-under for that game is 55.5.
What's the over-under on punts?
Yeah, none. 0 zip zilch.
4th and 10, they're going for it.
Every single time between Dan Quinn and or between both those coaches. There will not be a punt this game. No way. And if they send the field or the punt unit on, it's gonna be a fake punt. Like I might as well just wear a shirt that says "Go for it." It's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for that game tonight. 3:00 game on Sunday. Rams Eagles. What you got?
I'm still sticking with the Eagles on that. They got the top defense in the league, and I just don't know if the Rams are going to have enough to deal with that.
Yeah, the Rams I'm picking for a couple reasons. One, they got the chip on the shoulder with the wildfire situation going on. Hope everybody's doing okay. They're playing for their city, which speaks volumes. They're going into Philadelphia. It's not going to be very brutal weather, but it's not. It actually does look like it might rain or snow a little bit, so that might change things up a little bit. I'm just taking the Rams. I really feel like they're just on fire right now. At the end of the season, they finished hot. They've got experience in the playoffs. I know Philadelphia does too, but it's going to be a very good game. Like we said, between the defenses and the offenses, this game could be either 3-0 or 600 to 55,999. It could be anywhere. So, yeah. But the game that I'm most excited about out of the other three besides the Lions game is Ravens-Bills. Give me who you got and the reasoning behind it.
It's going to be a good game either way. Bills got some defensive guys back they didn't have the last time they played. And honestly, I just think the Ravens are a little bit better team right now. And that sub-zero weather with Derrick Henry, he's going for 150 plus.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. I've got the Bills. I'm taking the Bills. They're at home. They are also my Super Bowl pick to play the Lions. I would really like to see that rematch because I'd like to see our full defense play Josh Allen. I really think that we can contain him. But I also just think that Buffalo has at home is just too difficult to beat, especially in the postseason. It's the fourth time ever I think that the number 1 and number 2 quarterbacks in the all-pro team are going up against one another. I read the other ones were it's like Brett Favre and Steve Young was one, and then I think it was Brett Favre and Kurt Warner was another year, and then I want to say it was or maybe it was like Kurt Warner and Tony Romo or something, it was Aaron Rodgers. And I don't remember, but it was a cool stat, and it's only the fourth time that this has ever happened. So it's going to be a very exciting game. Spread is 1.5 for Baltimore. Over-unders 51.5. That's going to be a really, really fun game. I'm viewing this as more of the AFC Championship because I really feel whoever wins this game is going to win the AFC Championship. Yeah. So with that being said, those are our picks there. Really, yeah. And we still have our picks for the Super Bowl, so we don't need to pick championship games off of the picks of these. But the thing I'd like to point out is me and you picked opposite on every game except the Lions game. So one of us is going to kill it and one of us is going to suck. I guess time will tell. So any other thoughts on the divisional round?
I think it's going to be a lot better football than the wild card. I really hope so.
I won't have to try very hard, but I completely agree.
No.
Yeah, so that being said, touch a little bit on some of the rule changes from last year to this year. Kickoffs, dismal. NFL, please change the kickoff rule. I don't think they have a choice. I'm pretty confident they had set a record for most touchbacks ever in a season. Thoughts on the kickoffs?
Man, I don't know what the answer is, but I agree. They said it's going to make it more exciting, more kickoffs. I mean, do you keep the same kickoff and just move the kickoff line back?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the answer? Because they're going to be lined up downfield either way at the same distance. Just move the kicker back.
Yeah, because, back when kickoff was a kickoff, there was 14 steps a kicker would take to kick the ball, right? Because he had to absolutely boot it. Now they barely take the 2 steps back, 2 steps to the side. You know what I mean? They're just it's just not been fun to watch. Yeah, you can say, oh, there's been this and there's been returns still and all that. It's just not been fun. And the other aspect of it is the onside kick. They have got to let that be an element of surprise again. That the fact that you have to report you're doing it and all this shit is complete bullshit. What are your thoughts?
See, to me, the percentages of people getting onside kicks are so low as it is. I don't know if that makes that much of a difference. But I would like to see the kicker definitely get moved back here. Make it so he can't kick it out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and that would also put a little bit of emphasis on actually having a kicker that can boot it more than 50 yards. Because there's a lot of guys in the league right now who's season long was 48 yards.
Yeah, they got punters doing kickoffs.
Yeah, Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Da-da-da. Another rule change I'd like to see is the ability to challenge penalties or to have replay assists say that wasn't holding or that wasn't intentional grounding or that was intentional grounding. The play in the Rams-Vikings game where Matt Stafford did that little shuffle pass to make sure that it was an incomplete pass instead of a sack, and then everyone thought it was a fumble and blah, 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 blah. And they're all complaining, well, it should have been called intentional grounding. Well, they can't change it. Well, that is the change I'd like to see is the ability to challenge those plays or at least have replay assist have the ability to overturn those plays. What are your thoughts?
I agree with that, but like I said, there's got to be a lot more repercussions here if you're going to start being able to challenge penalties. Mm-hmm. And replay assist should be stepping in a lot more on this. I mean, every other sport has the technology to do this.
Yep.
Hockey has sensors inside the puck. FIFA have sensors inside the goal. Why are we so far behind in the NFL and billion-dollar industry?
Yeah, Roger Goodell got quoted saying, like when they were talking about getting rid of the chain gangs and all this, it's like, come on, this is ridiculous. And he goes, well, it's an added element of excitement for the league. No, you want to know what's exciting to me? It's getting it right. And I just like, yeah, okay, dragging out the chain gang and they pull it tight and then they put it down and they got to stick a card in between to see. Just freaking forget it. Give me a laser. And then call it a day. So yeah, I don't know. The league's getting more competitive. The league's bringing rules for safety, but they're also bringing rules for fun and entertainment as well. Because at the end of the day, we watch football because it's enjoyable entertainment. Hats off to Roger Goodell. They've definitely got the league going in the right direction. So keep up the good work. Okay. Moving on a little bit from football to a couple of other topics. College football. We made our picks last episode. We got them half right, both. It is Notre Dame versus Ohio State in the national championship. Are you sticking with Ohio State to win it all?
Unfortunately, yes. I think they're the better team. I think they're even hotter than Notre Dame is right now. Notre Dame's had some close games where Ohio State's just fucking steamrolled people.
Yeah, I cannot pick them in my good conscience of being a Michigan sports fan, so I'm still sticking with my guns on Notre Dame. I think Jeremiah Love, if he's healthy enough to run the way he can run, will run right through them. And again, like I said, I'd love to see Ohio State just be turmoil because they're gonna get rid of Ryan Day if they lose. The only way Ryan Day keeps his job, even if he's I don't know. I don't think if he won a national championship that they'd fire him. But it's just I don't know. The guy's playing for his job tonight for sure. And I don't like them, so I really hope they lose. I think it'll be a good game regardless. You got two really great defenses going up against two really good offenses. Like I said, I think Jeremiah Love's going to be a huge factor for Notre Dame. But yeah, so that gives us football Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So went from 5 days last week to 3 days this week. Next week we only got 2 days, and then we skip a week because I don't watch the Pro Bowl because it's a joke anymore. And then we have the Super Bowl, and then sadly football is for another season. And it's been a fun ride.
If Ohio State loses, we need to get a camera on Urban Meyer's bar, see if Ryan Day's sitting there with him with a little 20-year-old on his lap.
Got him. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting. So yeah. Oh, one other thing. What are your thoughts on the Steelers with Mike Tomlin? Everybody wants to blame this man, and I don't think it's the problem. What are your thoughts?
I think they need to figure out how to get a franchise quarterback. The man hasn't had a losing season in 18 years.
Yeah.
I mean, with no quarterbacks after Big Ben.
Yeah, very true.
Kenny Pickett was a failed pick.
Yep.
You're fighting between
Mason
Justin
Rudolph.
Fields, who can't throw the ball. Russell Wilson's old as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The whole argument is they're never good enough to win it, but they're never bad enough to get a good pick to get a franchise quarterback. But I will combat that with this right here. Lamar Jackson went late 20s. Like, wasn't he like 28th pick or some shit? 22nd pick in the draft.
Baltimore, they never have a high pick.
I just find it so hard to believe that, we can't get our, that's the excuse why we can't get our quarterback. There's been so many great quarterbacks come out of the draft that weren't drafted even in the first round. Granted, it does help to have a top 10 pick if you're looking for your franchise quarterback. But it's not a make or break thing. Mike Tomlin is not the problem, Pittsburgh. You are, for pressuring somebody that does nothing but win into thinking that he's the problem. Also, quit drafting diva-ass wide receivers. I could just sit here and name after name after name of like people that have just brought you nothing but drama. So, I guess the only thing negative you could say. Yeah. The only thing negative you could say about that is, Mike Tomlin might have to just be like, sit these young men down and be like, hey, you gotta stop. But that's not who Mike Tomlin is, I don't think, as a coach. He's just more tough love than anything. But yeah, don't go. I know he's got the no trade clause. Don't get traded to Chicago. Your career does not need that taintness to it, Mike. Stay in Pittsburgh until they just let you go, I guess. Moving on. Something that I think I want to keep covering that I'm very interested and intrigued in is the TGL. Sadly, last Tuesday, Tiger was on. Everybody was pumped. His son was there. Fans are all excited and just gets mollywopped by the other team. Watching Pat McAfee over the week talked about what he thought needed to change, and I completely agree with that. They need, they got these guys mic'd up, but they don't talk. They're not used to talking. They need somebody to be in there poking. They need a color commentator. There's a lot of room for improvements. What's one thing you want to see them bring to the table to help the entertainment value of this new league?
Well, and I think Tiger's team did it this week. They put a point of emphasis on that, the banter back and forth, because week 1 there wasn't much of anything.
Yeah.
Week 2, there was definitely a lot more talking back and forth, and I think it'll grow from here. This is a new environment for these guys. They're not used to it, so they're learning on the fly too.
Yep.
I think the second time around we see these guys get in, like this week, the second week with New York, I think there'll be a lot more as they get used to it.
Yeah. Yep. I completely agree with you. But yeah, so, and like I said, got a game Tuesday the 21st. There's a triple header on Monday, February 7th. That should be fun. 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 7 o'clock. That'll be a fun day of indoor golf. Very excited for this league. Tiger, Rory, great idea. Let's just, like we do here on the channel, let's improve every single week. Yeah. Also, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what we can do to better this channel. We appreciate everybody's support. It's been a fun ride so far, and we are just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. So hang on for the ride because it's going to be fun. So, one last thing I'd like to touch on before we sign off on this shortened version of the Hulaham Hour on this Saturday morning. Detroit sports as a whole. Holy cow, what a 180 the city has experienced. The Red Wings get rid of their coach, get a new coach. We are now 8-2 in the last 10 games, sitting at 21-19. Nowhere near, we're kind of near playoff contention, kind of not, but the Eastern Conference is pretty tight in that area. The Pistons, they are 21-20. They, if the season ended today, would make the playoffs. What are your thoughts on Detroit sports as a whole? Finally. We haven't seen April and the D in a long freaking time. Amen. Yeah, it's been
all the time. Now it's one or the other.
Yeah, the Tigers pulling their heads out of their asses end of last year to make the postseason was incredible to watch. The Pistons already have almost twice the wins this season that they had last season. That's awesome. The Red Wings, I've always loved watching hockey. It's a brutal physical sport that I have nothing but respect for the players that play that game. And I know Dylan Larkin has been a stud for us for such a number of years. I just want to see him do well. Just it's kind of like having Stafford play for us all these years. It's like, let's just see this boy get something done. So it's been very exciting to watch. Fun to watch on FanDuel Network. Yeah. So with that being said, I think that gets us caught up. We almost ran about the same as we did on our first bloop video, and I swear to God, if we get done and there's not audio on this, I'm going to lose it. But I know there will because we did a test. So with that being said, Nick, you got anything else for this week, brother?
No, I do not. And there's no audio. I'm going to have a beer.
Amen. Okay, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate everybody's support so far through the channel. Me and Nick have been having an absolute riot doing this together on bringing our thoughts to the table. Don't forget to comment how wrong you think we are. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon for the notifications when we do upload a new video. We will be back next Wednesday on a consistent basis. Nick, I'm glad you are back from being sick.
Thank you.
And with that, Hulaham out.